people associated with Franciscan families, postulants and friars and religious sisters and secular Franciscans, wear a Tau cross. The Tau cross comes from the Greek letter T and also the Hebrew letter for Tau. But in wearing a Tau cross, it's an early cross, it's a reminder that I want to live my life, a life of conversion, a life of penance, as a servant of the crucified. That I want to be one who loves the servant who is crucified. The tunic of the habit is also in the shape of the Tau, reminding us that when we put it on, it's not so much a garment of distinction or privilege, but it is saying that I want to live my life as Christ has lived his life, giving himself totally and completely in the service of others. We are reminded of that in reading this gospel today, in which Jesus is asking us to take up our cross. And while that involves being able to accept our own suffering and struggles in our life, I think it also means to be able to accept his love. The cross was a place of horror, destruction, despair, and hopelessness, a place of evil. It was at Jesus' cross that evil took on the form of sin, that people had embraced evil, that people chose evil, and they had acted in wrong ways. And so that evil that became sin now goes to the cross, and it is embraced by forgiveness and love. In that place of terrible despair, horror, and hopelessness, God saved the world. And as we know that, and as we accept that, and as we choose to live as servants of the crucified, we are reminded of our own sin. That as we gaze on the cross, we can think about what our sin has done, how our failings have hurt the Christ, and how he has chosen to suffer for us. But in so doing that, as we gaze on the cross, as we embrace the cross, we are saying that yes, I have sinned. And in the face of my sin, in the face of my failing, God in Christ has chosen to love. And that I accept that love. I think in asking to carry up a cross, we are reminded of our constant need for God. In that first reading, the Tower of Babel, people are trying to create this tower thinking, we don't need God, we can do it all on our own. But that story is a reminder that in each and every moment of our lives, we need God. His guidance, his wisdom, his forgiveness, and his love. As we discern a vocation, any vocation in the life of the church, we are conscious of our own sin, of our own weakness, of our own failings. But as we gaze on the cross, which we are encouraged to do by Francis and Clare and Bonaventure and so many other saints, as we gaze on the cross, we see that place where sin is forgiven, where our failings is transformed by love. So knowing my own sin, my own weakness, and my own failings, I am reminded that God embraces me in love and chooses me to live in love. And in discerning with my own sin, my own weakness, my own failing, it is God who chooses to call each and every one of us into a deeper, loving relationship. Perhaps a relationship that is expressed in the life of a friar, perhaps a relationship that is expressed in another form of service in the life of the church. But it is he who calls, because it is he who loves. It is not so much that he needs us, we need him, but that he chooses us. And when we accept that choice, when we want to live in that choice, we take up our crosses with him. We follow him amidst the trials, the difficulties, the sufferings, and the despair, knowing that in every step of the journey, he is with us with his forgiveness and his love. A forgiveness and a love that he asks us to accept and to rejoice in as we carry our crosses.